Hi guys, just close that down a minute. Right, 3 minutes per flight. So let's talk practicalities first of all. Number one, we can't let the launch point really decide whether a flight has 3 minutes or not. Members, generally speaking, are there to fly. They are quite happy to record aircraft up and down, but all the bits in between that determines what makes up the cost of a flight, they are not the slightest bit interested in, and if we leave it to their devices, I'm afraid it will all turn into a bugger's muddle, as my dear old dad used to say. So we've got to make it bulletproof, and that means that the office staff or the people in charge of free flight are going to have to do a modest amount of setting up. I'm going to show you what we've done so far. I'll link this into a proper menu in a minute. At the moment I've just designed a quick query. So let's look at what we've got set up and I'll show you how it hangs together. I'm going to run one there that says 3 minutes and see what we've got. Now we've got two schemes at the moment. We've got 10 minutes all aircraft, 10-minute preset times. So what the system allows you to do at the moment is to be able to specify whether you want to allow 3 minutes before a certain time in the morning or after a certain time at night, or indeed if you want to allow it all day long. It allows you to specify whether the 3 minutes is across the entire fleet, or whether you just want to hone it down to single seaters or a particular aircraft that you want to push, which is what we're going to do in a second. It also allows you to specify whether they should be for winch launches, aerotows, or indeed any kind of launch, and it ties it back to a particular charging scheme. So if you want all the members to enjoy 3 minutes, then you have to make a little tweak to all the charging schemes. If you want to restrict it to juniors or a certain age group, then you specify a particular 3-minute package for the individual charging scheme. And in fact you can give the juniors one charging scheme which gives them maybe 20 minutes free, and you can give the senior members, the full members, a separate package which just gives them 10 minutes free. It's totally flexible, it's entirely up to you. I'm just going to show you how we hang it all together now. Let's look at a 10 minutes all aircraft package, and you can see on here we put, this is an all day all aircraft package, so the time before and the time after are both set at 12 o'clock. So if it's before that or after that, then the 3 minutes are allowed. We're allowing 10 minutes and it's not aircraft dependent, so it's across the board, all aircraft, single seaters, two seaters, anything you want. Okay, so that's one type of scheme. Let's close that and have a look at the other type of scheme. And this one is again a 10-minute, and we've called it 10-minute preset times. That's because we are only going to allow the 3 minutes before 11 o'clock in the morning and after 1700 hours or 5 o'clock at night. And again, we're going to allow 10 minutes, but we're also going to make it dependent on the aircraft. So it's only going to apply to certain aircraft in the fleet, the single seaters. Now I'm not going to set them all up in this video. I'm just going to set one up, but that again will allow me to show you how you can specify individual aircraft. We have a particular aircraft at our club that we like to push because nobody likes flying it, and they'd all prefer to hang around and wait for one of the others to come down. So we're trying to tempt them into it, because at the end of the day the insurance bill is still the same for that aircraft as it is for all the others. I hope this is making sense. That should be fairly easy. You can run through the video as many times as you like to overcome the fact that I'm waffling like crazy, but let's show you how it's set up now. Let's go to the charging schemes. Let's close that down. Let's go over to the charging schemes. Let's look at the charging schemes. One charging scheme there, and I've only done one, which is the normal charging scheme. And in this case we scroll down to the bottom, we see a new field here, the 3 minutes per flight, and it's set for the 10-minute preset time one, which again is also aircraft dependent. So all you got to do is select whichever of the schemes you want from the drop down the list. Before this goes live, I'll make the box wider so that we're on one line rather than spanning over two lines. Just to put you in the picture, that's the name of the scheme. It's it's before 12 o'clock or after 12 o'clock, and it's 10 minutes free time. That's what those figures mean. This particular one says it's before 11 o'clock, after 17 o'clock, and again it's 10 minutes free time. The times that you put in are pure numbers. You don't put the hours in there. Simply to simplify the code in calculating what the time should be, and that's really for the benefit of my Canadian customers who are 6 hours behind us. So we have to do a calculation for them based on the number of hours that they are behind the server time. Let's look at the aircraft file now. That's quite easy to set up. So we'll look at the club aircraft. Let's look at the one we want to highlight. It's JOZ, and all I've done in that one is I put a 3 minutes per flight in of 10 minutes there, 0:10. Okay. If we look at one of the other aircraft, say KHW, you can see that there's no 3 minutes allowed there. The numbers are 0. So again, the system will check the aircraft, and it will make the calculation based on the 3 minutes per flight in there, rather than the number of 3 minutes in the particular 3 minute scheme that we're showing. So I hope that's clear. I'll write up the paper manual at some point, but this is just to get it out to one particular club who are hanging on for it, waiting for it. So let's go and do some flight logging. What time is it? It's just tick past midnight. Don't worry about that point of sale, that's coming soon. So let's start a new sheet, because we've just ticked past midnight. I can't use the one I set up previously, so we're going to make it today. Create that. We'll call it testing 3 minutes, and we'll click continue. Don't want to worry about the rest of the stuff. Okay, so now let's go and review that flying sheet. Here we go. Right, let's put a club flight in. I'm going to set one off at 10 o'clock. I'll put me in, and we'll put it in JOZ. Now, because it's before 11 o'clock, I'm going to make all of these 10 minutes flights, just so that you can see. So that's a 10-minute flight before the watershed of 11 o'clock, and it's in an aircraft that we've defined as having 3 minutes available for flights. Click create. What I'm expecting to see is £8.50, and that's exactly what I've got. Let's put another member into a non-scheme aircraft. So we'll put Warwick Horn into a K18. I can find them. Where have they gone? Oh, I'll put it in the K13. We'll put it in KRB. And again, we'll put that at the same time. So he took off almost at the same time. It's before the 11 o'clock watershed, but it's not in an aircraft that is part of the 3 minute scheme. So let's click OK on that. And I'm expecting now to see a slightly higher figure, which is exactly what I've got, £12.80. Okay, so let me put somebody else in another aircraft which is outside of the scheme. So we'll put it at, we'll set the flight going at 10 past 11. I'll make it 20 past 11 because I've just landed. So we'll put Bob Bollum in there. Put him in JOZ, and we'll say that I took off at 11:30 and came down at 11:40. So again, I'm expecting to see the full price for the flight here, because although it's in one of the qualifying aircraft, it is not before 11 o'clock. There you go, brilliant. Okay, so we're just going to put another couple of flights in here. I'm going to have another flight in JAWS. So again, I'm going to put me in. Aircraft is going to be JOZ, and this time I'm going to fly after the 5 o'clock watershed. So the takeoff time is going to be 17:20, and I'm going to land at 17:30. And again, this time I only expect to see the £8.50 launch fee, which is exactly what I've got. Let's do one more flight in a different aircraft just to prove the point, and Warwick can have another go. And he can go in KRB, which is outside of the scheme, and we'll put Warwick up at 17:40, and he can come down at 17:50. And again, I expect to see launch fee plus airtime fee, which is exactly what I've got. So that's it, quite easy. Review the video as often as you like. I will put a different soundtrack on for the rest of the clubs. This one is specifically for you guys at South Wales. So that's it. See you soon. Speak to you soon. If you get any questions, give me a call, but not until Monday because I'm out and about this weekend.